This is Scrum for leaders.
Just get it done.
You don't have time to read the 9 pages of the Scrum Guide.
You should read it.
I'm here to tell you what Scrum means for you as a leader and how you can support your teams executing in this framework. Hi, I'm John Zach, Principal Consultant for Digital Zach. You're accountable for achieving the results deemed necessary by the organization, whether it's you defining those results or whether they're being handed to you from above. Your role in working with Scrum teams is to enable them to be as effective and as efficient as possible while working on the right work. To do this, you need to know a little about how Scrum teams work and how you can best support them. Scrum theory is based in empiricism and lean thinking. As the Scrum Guide says, empiricism asserts that knowledge comes from experience and making decisions based on what is observed. Lean thinking reduces waste and focuses on the essentials. Scrum introduces 3 pillars which support its basis in empiricism: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency is evident through the work of the team and its contribution to achieving the goals of the organization. Transparency of work enables inspection into how the Scrum team itself works and how it produces work products. Inspection is how the team detects potentially undesirable variances or problems. Adaptation is expressed by self-managing teams modifying how they work and what they produce to achieve the goals of the organization based on their own observation of their performance. If it's not obvious, the teams are doing all of this to achieve the goals of the organization. Scrum Guide states that Scrum requires a Scrum Master to foster an environment where several things happen. The challenge lies in the organizational capabilities of the individual placed in the role of Scrum Master. As a leader of Scrum teams, your role is necessary to support the Scrum Master in fostering the right kind of environment. This is also a two-way street. As you navigate these organizational challenges, such as stakeholder management, culture change, and team staffing and structure, the team is going to drive, through their own self-management, additional challenges for you to assist them in negotiating and resolving. This is where Scrum's intentional incompleteness meets your context, your practices, and solutions. Not all cultures are compatible with Scrum's foundation and empiricism, introducing additional challenges for leaders. You can look to Scrum's values of commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect to help create a culture that accepts and nurtures Scrum teams. From the Scrum Guide, the Scrum team commits to achieving its goals and to supporting each other. Their primary focus is on the work of the sprint to make the best possible progress toward these goals. The Scrum team and its stakeholders are open about the work and the challenges. Scrum team members respect each other to be capable, independent people and are respected as such by the people with whom they work. The Scrum team members have the courage to do the right thing, to work on tough problems. You need to exhibit these values, but as a leader of a Scrum team, you need to manifest them in different ways from the teams. Focus. It starts with organizing the Scrum teams around organizational goals. Team members should only be assigned to one team. Scrum teams should focus on achieving one objective at a time, focusing their work. Scrum teams should be staffed so they continually produce complete, valuable solutions. Commitment. Just as the teams commit to achieving their product and sprint goals and accomplishing their definition of done, leaders must commit to setting the teams up for success. You do this by supporting teams in the removal of impediments to the flow of work and creating an environment receptive and reactive to feedback. It's your role to improve the flow of value by changing the systems that the teams operate within and embody. Openness. As a leader, displaying the value of openness can be challenging. In order to support empiricism, you need to be open to discussion, open to change, open to changing culture, and supportive of transparency through work alignment and the inspection of execution and results. Respect. Teams show respect internally, but you need to respect how they operate. This means respecting their team accountabilities, team events, artifacts, and the work produced by the team. Courage. Just like your teams need to have the courage to do the right thing, so do you. You have to effectively communicate your decisions and their rationale, even when it introduces tough challenges for them to overcome. Today we talked about how you can lead and support the Scrum teams in your organization. We touched on Scrum's basis in empiricism and lean thinking. We talked about how you can support Scrum's 3 pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. We talked about your role as an extension and enabler of the Scrum Master in creating a culture and environment conducive to Scrum-based value delivery. We ended on the different ways that you need to exhibit the Scrum values as a leader of the Scrum team. If this video helped you think about how you can be a better leader for the Scrum teams in your organization, click like below. This is my first video in a series for leaders and executives about modern product development methods. It's also my first video in my History of Scrum series. If this is up your alley, please consider subscribing to my channel.